Alright, let's see what the big fucking deal is with this thing. I know Kung Fu. What's going on, guys? So the PlayStation VR dropped this past Thursday. I picked one up on Saturday. I'm here to give you my first impressions of it, things that I like about it, things I don't like about it, things that I'm concerned about for the future, and I'm also going to be reviewing the game that comes with the bundle that I got, PlayStation VR Worlds. So from the beginning with this whole VR thing, I've been a bit of a naysayer. I haven't been negative about it, I haven't been bashing it, but I've been very defensive and unsold about this whole thing, and a lot of it's because I have been burned so many times by peripherals with games. I was burned by the iToy, I was burned by PlayStation Move, I was burned by Kinect, I was burned by PlayStation Vita. Every time this new peripheral comes out, you know, PlayStation or Xbox or whoever's doing it always makes it seem like this is the new thing. We're putting all of our energy into this. This is going to be, you know, the future of gaming, and now we're going to put all these developers and all this time into doing games for this. And every single time that I've participated and drank that Kool-Aid, about 2 or 3 months in, I start to realize I made a mistake. And before the end of the 2-year cycle, the thing is gone. I bought a PlayStation Vita whenever they had the whole slim model, and they're advertising the new, slimmer, more efficient model for, you know, we got Borderlands 2 coming out, and it's going to be this big old thing. We're going to reinvigorate the PS Vita. And I bought that, and then they did not come up with a single other game for PlayStation Vita. So naturally, I'm a little bit hesitant to spend $500 on something that I'm not sold is going to be around for 2 years. But I was curious enough to go pick this thing up. I had been hearing a lot of really good things from people that I watch on YouTube and from people that I am friends with. And a lot of them are not people who are easily sold or easily just bandwagons and trying to praise everything that's new out there because it's new. So I was curious enough to pick it up. I really don't have any experience with VR, so I went and got this launch bundle. Now this one, big ass box. This thing comes with the PlayStation VR. It comes with the PlayStation camera. It comes with the Move controllers, and it comes with the PlayStation VR Worlds game and a demo disc. If you were to buy all these things separately, it would cost you $700. This bundle was $500, so absolutely, if you're going to buy it, go buy this. That's what my decision was. I didn't want to spend $400 on a VR, and then $100 on Move controllers, and then $60 on a camera, and then buy games after that. So that's the best deal for your money. Now, I've never played around with the PS4 camera beyond using the PlayStation Move controllers. This is kind of the new rounded camera, but it works basically the same as the square one if you have that. If you have all those things, they'll work just fine with this. Now, this headset, first and foremost, when I picked it up, I couldn't believe how light it was. You know, when I think about a headset or like a TV screen you're going to put on your head, I figured this thing would have weighed about 20 pounds, you know, and honestly, it's not. It's really lightweight. And one of the things that I love about this thing, compared to the other VRs that I've seen, this is not like a safety glasses with a huge elastic strap and it's just pressing that shit against your face the entire time. It does have some elastic to it, but it rests on the crown of your head. When you put it on, you get it where it's setting and it's comfortable, and all of the weight and all of the pressure is right here on the top of your head. And it's not that much pressure. You can adjust it with this little key right here. You press the button to release it, and it's very comfortable. And you got this thing here, this little button to pull it in and out and get it how you like it. I usually do it all the way in because it blocks out all the light, but everybody's different. And this thing is 1,000 times more comfortable than I would have ever imagined it should be. The little plush and the little rubber grips right here, they don't make your head sweat, at least they don't make mine sweat. They don't pull on your hair or anything like that. I mean, I got short hair, so if you got long hair, maybe you have a problem with that. They got all these little rubber barriers here that go around your eyes. They fit very comfortably. You barely even remember that they're there once you're going, and it really does block out pretty much all the sunlight. The only times that I can notice any outside light is when it's a loading screen. And when I first plugged this thing in, the first thing I did, I put in VR Worlds, and I just picked the first game that came up, Ocean Descent. And basically the one is where you're in like a little shark cage and you descend into the ocean and you got fishes swimming around you and manta rays and everything. And I'm here to tell you guys, from someone who has had no experience with VR, I was blown away at how immersive and how amazing this looked. From the get-go, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. I'm looking around, and I'm just, every direction I look, there's fish, and there's bubbles, and you can look all the way up, and you can see a boat up in the distance where you're attached to, and you can look all the way behind you, and it was just this crazy, mind-blowing thing for me. Now, again, like I said, I have no experience with the HTC stuff and the Oculus Rift, so I can't compare them. But judging this just off of itself, this PlayStation VR headset, this shit is incredible. Now, the graphics are really, really good. Every game differs, you know, some are made to be more realistic, some are made to be more cartoonish and everything like that. It just depends on the game. It's not going to be as clear as your 1080p or 4K TV, and you shouldn't expect it to be. This is a small little screen that fits inside of this thing. It's not going to be a 4K resolution. In the future, possibly. Not right now. And this is also something that, as far as the motion sickness, which is the main thing that people are worried about, that's going to depend on you. It's going to be different for every single person. I'm somebody, I do not get motion sick very easily. I can ride roller coasters all day long. I don't get motion sickness from car riding or from long trips. I don't get motion sickness from movies, except for Jason Bourne. But when I put this in, you have to kind of build up to it. You know what I mean? There's something that you have to kind of build a tolerance to. And I did not get motion sickness once when I was playing this. I was playing it all weekend. There was times when I would feel it coming on a little bit, and it depends on the game. But like I said, you have to know your own boundaries. If you were somebody and you know that you get motion sickness really easily, unfortunately, this is probably not going to be for you. If you're somebody like me, it doesn't bother you, you're going to be fine. But I will say, start small and build your way up. Play something like Ocean Descent or London Heist, and then build your way up to VR Luge and games where there's a lot of moving parts, because if you just jump right in and crank it up to 11, yeah, it's probably going to be a little bit weird and you're going to be feeling a little bit iffy. Now, as far as the negatives with this headset, there's only a few. The main one, which you can see one part of it right here. This thing is the first thing that I have bought for a video game system that you have to be tethered to a cord in a very long time. You know, we live in an age where everything is wireless. The controllers are wireless, the remotes are wireless, the charging is wireless half the time. So it was a little bit odd to suddenly be tethered to your game console again. Now, I know it's a trade-off, because if they were going to do away with the cords, you would have a much bigger and heavier headset, because they'd have to have a battery pack. You would have, God knows how long those things would last. Maybe you'd play for an hour and a half and then you have to charge the thing. You would have connection issues here and there. You know, it wouldn't be quite as fluid as it is. So, I mean, I understand it's a trade-off. You're either going to get a cord or you're opening yourself up to all those problems, which I understand. I'm just saying it was a little jarring to suddenly be tethered again. Now, not only is it weird being tethered, but this thing has so many components and so many cords that somebody like me, who I like to keep my entertainment center really nice and tidy and all the cables hidden and tucked away, there's no way to do it with this. Check this out. So as you can see, this thing has a whole mess of wires. It goes down to that little control panel. You got your headphones here. Goes all the way down to this little piece where you got to plug those in. Then this piece has a long cord attached to it, which goes all the way into this little control box, which you got to plug into that. Then you go behind here, you got a power cord, a USB cord that plugs in right here, plus a HDMI that goes from this to the system, and an HDMI that goes from this to the TV. And even with as clean as I keep my stuff down here with all my wires, as you can see, there's not really anything poking out. There's no clean way to store this, you know, unless you unhooked all of this shit every single time you were done playing the VR and then plugged it all back in. There's not any way to store this cleanly. Even behind there, all those wires back there that you can see behind Big Daddy, that is all for the VR. So you see, like I said, there's just a lot of cords, a lot of pieces to this thing. So it's a little bit, messy for somebody like me who likes to keep all my stuff nice and tidy. The only other criticism I have with this thing, and it might be that I haven't found the way to do it yet, they come with this little headphone jack here, and they give you a small little earbud headphones to put in, and they work pretty well for having the little stereo 3D sound. But I already have the PlayStation Gold headset that I play with once in a while. And I've already tried it. It fits very nicely over this. When I have this on top of my face, I just put the headphones over it and it fits really well. But every time I tried to use it, it wouldn't connect, and it said you cannot use this headset with PlayStation VR. So I don't know if this is something where I need to put an actual physical 3.5 millimeter jack in and plug it into my headphones, like it just won't let me use it wireless, that's too much for the system to handle or something, or if you just honestly can't use those stereo headphones and they force you to use these little earbuds, or that new Platinum headset that they're advertising right now. Because if that's the case, that really sucks, because I do not like having earbuds in. It bothers my ears, it gives me discomfort after a while, especially when I have these little noise canceling headphones that I've already paid a lot of money for. They work perfectly. I would much rather wear those than have earbuds in my ear. So if that's honestly the case where they're going to force you to buy that Platinum headset or just stick you with those little earbuds that they give you, that's a big disappointment for me. But again, like I said, maybe I just haven't found a way to do it. If any of you guys do know the way to do it, or if it is honestly you just need the little 3.5 millimeter jack to put in to physically plug that headset in, please put that in the comments section below and let me know so I can actually use my headphones. Now, as far as my worries for the future with this thing, as amazing as the games that I've played so far, you know, I'll have reviews come out for them later, but I've played VR Worlds, I've played Batman Arkham VR, I've played Until Dawn Rush of Blood, I've played Battlezone, I've played Loading Human. I mean, I've gotten a good idea of all the games that they have out now. I've played the majority of them. And for the most part, they're all really, really good. They're a lot of fun. They showcase the VR concept very well. My only worry with it is two things. One, just like all the other peripherals, how long is this thing going to be in the limelight? How many people are going to be continuously shelling out money for these things? And is this going to die out in a couple years? We're not going to know till we get there. I hope not. They seem like they're putting a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of advertising and investment in this, so I hope they don't just drop it like they do the other things. But again, we'll have to see. The other thing is the length of the games. Now, they price these things pretty fairly for the most part. Like Batman Arkham VR is a $20 game, and it's an hour and a half long. You can play it multiple times like I have, because there's Riddler trophies, there's different things, and it's something you want to experience multiple times because it's so cool going into bat caves and everything like that. But how many games are we going to get that's only an hour and a half long? You know, is it going to be so time-consuming to make a game with that much immersion and all the different graphics that go all around you everywhere you look, that even with the most badass game producers in the world, you're only going to get a 2 or 3 hour game at the most? You know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long this Resident Evil game that's coming out is going to be. That's probably going to be the big, you know, the telltale sign right there. If Resident Evil's 3 hours long, you know, we're probably going to be in trouble and people aren't going to be as accepting of these games as people are going to be hoping them to. But again, just like the other concern for the future, we're going to have to see. You know, there might be some things that they might have gotten all these things ready just to kind of get everybody excited, give you an idea what the VR world is going to be like. And like I said, they price them pretty fairly, Battlezone notwithstanding. But they might have a lot of really cool things in development that we have no idea and we haven't seen yet. They might have so many things in development for this that are going to be full-length games that it's going to knock our socks off when it gets here. Now, moving on to the PlayStation VR Worlds game. Now, this comes bundled with this one. I don't know if it comes bundled with the $3.99 pack. I don't think it does, but I believe this is $40 if you buy it by itself. And this is basically like the Wii Sports, the Kinect Sports. It's basically the showcase of all the different mini games that you get bundled with this new peripheral. Now, there is 5 games on this thing, and I'm going to talk about them in order from the one that I like the least to the one that I like the most. So starting off with VR Luge. This one is exactly what it sounds like. You put it on, you start the game, you're a guy in a luge, and you're going down city streets, and you use your head to turn left and right. Now, I played this game once, did not enjoy it. I don't know if I'm going to go back to it and try it again for 2 reasons. One, this is one of the few times that I did feel motion sickness with this game, and it's because it is a very fast-paced, quickly moving game. You're weaving in and out of traffic. You're constantly shaking your head like this, and it's just not good if you're trying to be comfortable and play a game. And not only that, it's just you moving your head and turning around, so it wasn't really all that fun to me. But the graphics look really cool. It is cool to watch. Moving on past that is Ocean Descent. Now, as much as I loved my first experience with this, because there's 3 little game modes in this. There's Shark Attack, Coral Reef, and something else. Shark Attack's the first one. I picked that one. That's where you're going down. You get to see the ocean. You get people talking to you in your headphones, and you get to experience this little ocean dive, and then a shark attacks you. I mean, it's pretty blatant, whatever the title is, Shark Attack, what's going to happen. And that was badass. You don't have any interaction with it, you just experience it. And it's very heart-pounding whenever the shark starts trying to hammer through your little shark cage. It's pretty cool. And beyond that, those other 2 are not even worth mentioning, because one of them is literally just the same exact experience, but it cuts off before the shark attack. So it's just like this little peaceful dive. I guess it's to give somebody who's got, they're a little faint of heart, maybe. You want them to experience it, but you don't want to give them a heart attack. And the third one, Coral Reef, was just you going down and just being able to look around, and you get to see a few more different types of fish, and it was over. So that one, I loved the shark attack, but the other 2 was a big disappointment. I wish they would have had some other things in this ocean exploration you could have done. It would have been a lot of fun. Moving on past that one is Scavengers Odyssey. Now this is basically, it's kind of like a mix between Space Invaders and like a tank battle game. You're an alien inside of an alien ship, which is basically like a walking tank, kind of like that spider on Wild Wild West. And it's very cool when you look around, because you can look around inside your ship and see all the different controls. You can look down, and where you're holding your move controllers, there's the alien hands on the little controls, and every time you move it, the hands move exactly how your hands move. So it's very cool and immersive. And basically you're walking around in this tank, you're exploring this space wreckage, and different aliens come out and you shoot them. I mean, it's pretty basic, but it's a lot of fun. I've only played the first level. Like I said, it's very immersive. The only negative with this is the other time that I felt a little bit motion sick, and it's because there is a certain gameplay element in this where once you get to a certain point, you can leap your tank onto certain walls to try to get past the wreckage, and you're constantly jumping from a regular flat plane to like a side wall, to the ceiling, to a side wall, to an upside down wall, and it's very nauseating after a while, because you're constantly flipping around and doing all this, and it changes your perspective so many times that it's a little nauseating. So I'll get back into that. I'll get back into that game and give it another shot and continue with the level, because I did have a lot of fun with it. I just don't know if that nauseating part of it is going to get worse, or, like I said, the more I play it, the less this effect has on me. So like, it's going to be something you have to kind of build up to. After that, we've got Danger Ball. Now this is kind of like Tron and Pong. It's this really futuristic game arena, and it's got this effect like you're in this huge stadium, and you're basically playing Pong. You have your little cursor, and you move it with your head. It's not nearly as jarring as the VR Luge. You move it with your head, and just like Pong, you got a tennis ball or like a little, like one of those little Tron razor balls coming at you, and you have to bounce it back and prevent it from being scored on. It's like Pong. But it looks really good. The graphics are really cool. They're all the different elements with bringing in all the different rivals and all their different ways that they can spin the ball. Like you have one guy that makes the ball where it kind of cuts through the walls like a razor blade. You got another guy who will grab the ball and he'll like glitch around and you can't tell where he's coming, and then he'll shoot it at you. And it gets really challenging, but it's a lot of fun. It's easy to play. You just sit down and you just kind of move your head around like this, and it's easy to get into. You can get the whole family involved with that game. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy the hell out of that game. And then there's the showcase of this whole disc, which you could charge $40 for this game alone, and it would almost be worth it, if not for the length of it. And that's the London Heist. Now this is basically like a gritty London robbery drama and a first-person shooter kind of mixed together. It's very interactive. You get the different gangsters that come up to you. You can like light their cigars for them, and you're like taking different clues and everything, and they'll give you like your passports and everything and a phone. And then when you get to the actual robbery sides of it, you get to do a little bit of the robbing. I mean, it's one scene, but you get to do like hacking into a safe and different things like that. And then when it turns into a shootout, it's a first-person shooter, and you literally are ducking behind a desk and popping out and trying to take out all the guards. And it's a lot of fun. And not only that, it's pretty damn accurate. Like, you can close one eye and you're looking at the pin of your gun and shoot it, and wherever you were aiming is dead on. Like, if you're gonna do a headshot, you will get a headshot if you're aiming with the little gun pin. And there's this driving segment that's the best part of that segment, or that game, when you're in a van and you got motorcycles and vans coming all around you, and you gotta shoot out tires and shoot out gas tanks, and that game is a lot of fun. It's short, but it's a lot of fun. And when I talk about immersion with that game, the main character that you get to interact with a lot, I call him the roided out Jason Statham. There's a scene when he's interrogating you, and he gets right up in your face like this, and it's so close and it's so immersive. Like, even I found myself in my seat, like leaning back, like, oh shit, like that guy was gonna swing on me. So like, it just goes into just how immersive this game is and how badass this whole VR concept is. So this game is a lot of fun. There's a lot to do in here. This is a good value for 40 bucks. I mean, if it bundles it with here, it's basically for free. But if you went out and bought this game, it's worth every penny. It's not like a lot of these little demo discs you get with these new peripherals where you play through everything once and you're done, and okay, I've seen what they want to show me. There's one game that's cool, the rest of it sucks. But this is a lot of fun. This is a game that I will probably continuously go back to, even with the Batman Arkham VR and the Rush of Blood and everything like that. I'll continuously go back to this because it's a lot of fun. Now, the other thing that this whole launch bundle comes with, which I haven't played around with too much because I already have most of these, is this demo disc. It's got a demo for Eve Valkyrie, Drive Club, Riggs, Wayward Sky, Headmaster, which is like a soccer game, Battlezone, Rush of Blood, VR Worlds, and Tumble VR. So not only can you play this and get a lot of time out of VR Worlds, but you can get a lot of time out of this, and it will give you a good idea of other games you would want to play. So all in all, guys, the Sony PlayStation VR is a huge surprise to me. It's a lot of money, but it is a huge surprise for the value that they give you and how cool, immersive, and fun this thing really is. I really hope that they put all their time and investment that they're promising they're going to put into this, because they are really knocking the doors off of something very special with this. This is a lot of fun. Definitely go out. If there's a store near you that has these things on demo, I think Best Buy has them once in a while. You kind of have to look online, I'm sure, to see which stores have it. Go out, give it a shot. If you're like me and you've never experienced VR before, this is going to blow your mind. Just be careful about the motion sickness. Like I said, you will know your own boundaries before you walk into this, so just be smart about it. So what do you guys think of the PlayStation VR? Have you played it? Have you bought it? Did you play it in a store? Put all your first impressions down below. Let's talk about it. Have you played any of the games? Put all those first impressions down here. We'll talk about that too. Please like and share this video and hit that subscribe button. That way you get to come back and see me next time. But if that's not soon enough to check out some more of my videos, you can check out a few more by clicking right over here.